As the days grow short and the festive season approaches, I wish you all a joyous and peaceful holiday. This will be my last Christmas as the Queen's representative in Ontario. Serving the people in this province has been transformative for me and for my wife Ruth Ann, and I'd like to share with you some of our most memorable experiences. One of the great highlights of my 6 years in office was the 22nd homecoming tour of Canada by Her Majesty the Queen and His Royal Highness Prince Philip in 2010. While they were in Toronto, Her Majesty visited the Ontario Legislature, and we had the wonderful experience of hosting her right here in the Lieutenant-Governeur's suite at Queen's Park. As you can imagine, Ruth Ann and I very much enjoyed returning the hospitality that Her Majesty extended to us when we visited her at Buckingham Palace in 2008. Although it was the Queen's first visit to the suite, we have hosted several members of the royal family here over the past 6 years. These include the Duke of Edinburgh, Princess Anne, the Earl and Countess of Wessex, and during the celebrations for Her Majesty's Diamond Jubilee, His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall. Her Majesty's Diamond Jubilee was just one of a series of major anniversaries we celebrated with Ontarians in 2012. They also included the 200th anniversary of the beginning of the War of 1812, the 100th Grey Cup, the 25th anniversary of the Order of Ontario, and the 30th anniversary of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. All of these celebrations were both memorable and enjoyable, but the Diamond Jubilee celebrations were the most notable. They gave me the opportunity to honor with Diamond Jubilee medals many thousands of Ontarians who have contributed so much to our society as community activists and volunteers. Speaking of which, one of the most common questions I hear as I get to the end of my term of office is, what has been your most memorable impression of Ontario and its people? The answer comes easily. It is the extraordinary role of volunteers in our communities. They are the unsung heroes of our society, the foundation of our strength as a province. Every year, millions of you, young and old, donate your time, energy, experience, and passion to your communities. Your volunteerism speaks well of the values we hold dear as a society. It also demonstrates that Ontarians are a neighborly people, considerate and steadfast, willing to lend a hand when called upon. As Her Majesty's representative in the province for the past 6 years, I've been welcomed by Ontarians into your communities for occasions both joyful and somber. Together, we have commemorated anniversaries, honored local heroes, launched exhibitions and commemorations, awarded organizational and individual excellence, celebrated our diversity, and taken part in a host of community and civic events. I've also had the privilege and the responsibility of attending funerals and memorial ceremonies for fallen police officers, firefighters, and veterans. As the proud son of a World War II veteran, I was honored to take part as well in repatriation ceremonies for Canadian military personnel who gave their lives for democracy in Afghanistan. And Ruth Ann has enjoyed tremendously her visits on my behalf to the Lieutenant-Governeur's Aboriginal summer reading camps in Ontario, where my scooter is simply inaccessible. She's been proud to honor the Crown's connections with Canada's First Nations and to bear witness to the people, their history, and their cultures. When I became Lieutenant-Governor of Ontario, because I was the first with a physical disability, I adopted accessibility as the overarching theme of my term of office. I have defined accessibility as that which enables people to achieve their full potential. I coined this definition because it says that accessibility is not just concerned with physical accommodation for people with disabilities. True accessibility means acknowledging that people can live with disabilities and still contribute to their communities as neighbors, friends, and co-workers. It means focusing on what people can do rather than what they cannot do. My commitment to accessibility encompasses all aspects of life for people with disabilities, but in recent years, I've become particularly concerned with the extremely high level of unemployment in the disability community. Throughout my 6 years in office, I've spoken to employer groups, service clubs, and community organizations around the province about the strong economic and social case for employing people with disabilities. and I'm pleased to say that I've witnessed some great progress on this issue. Through Rotary at Work, for instance, a partnership with Community Living, Rotary clubs around the province are doing sterling work with local businesses through mentorships for people with disabilities. Earlier this year, the Federal Panel on Labour Market Opportunity for Persons with Disabilities released a report confirming the sound business case for hiring people with disabilities. And Legal Leaders for Diversity, a group of legal counsels to some of the most important public companies in Canada, has taken a leadership role in the push to increase diversity and inclusion in the Canadian workplace. These are just some of the ways in which momentum is gathering on this issue. There is still work to be done to reduce the number of people with disabilities on government assistance, though, and help them become lifelong taxpayers instead and consumers. And I have faith that this work will continue long after I have left office. Like voluntarism, this speaks to the values of Ontarians, to their desire for an equitable society in which the full range of human ability is welcomed and supported. Serving the people of Ontario as the Queen's representative has been the most extraordinary and humbling experience of my life. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for welcoming Ruth Ann and me into your communities. We shall never forget your hospitality and your many kindnesses. To mark the start of a new year with all of its promise, we extend to you a warm invitation to join us for the 2014 Lieutenant-Governeur's New Year's Day levee that will take place right here in Toronto at the Lieutenant-Governeur's Suite at Queen's Park on Wednesday, January 1st, between 12 noon and 2 in the afternoon. Ruth Ann and I look forward to meeting many of you there. In the meantime, as the Queen's representative in Ontario, a very Merry Christmas, and I wish you all a pleasant and peaceful holiday.